and strapping tight. We're bringing the heat, it feels so right. Lights are flashing, the crowd's in a roar. Get ready for action, it's what we live for. Electric vibes and the energy's on. We're taking the stage, it's time to get it on. 3 highlights, the thrill of the game. From the courts to the fields, you remember the name. Grab your snacks, settle in for the ride. It's game day, baby. Let's take it in stride. Are you ready to rumble? The stage is set. With the lights ablaze and no room for regrets. It's hours of screaming, adrenaline's popping. From the kick-up to the buzzer, the excitement is jumping. So grab your chairs, let the games ignite. I said, see the games ignite. Bringing the thunder, it feels so right. It's fun, it feels so right. Welcome to the showdown, it's time to ignite. With the low ball the air, bringing you the fight. With the crowd roaring and the tension so thick. Get ready for highlights, every kick and flip. From the field to the crowd, we breaking it down. Tracking every move from the ace to the crown. But raise the sharp blades and start to impress. We are ultimate soul. From silent, no stress. Get set for the thrill. It's game time now. I will send you through the crowd. Let me show you how. Scores are dropping, wheels are turning, paces high. We're rocking every moment, reaching for the sky. So catch your breath and strap in tight. We're bringing the heat, it feels so right. Lights are flashing, the crowd's in a roar. Get ready for action, it's what we live for. Electric vibes and the energy's on. We're taking the stage, it's time to get it on. 3 highlights, the thrill of the game. From the courts to the fields, you remember the name. Grab your snacks, settle in for the ride. It's game day, baby. Let's take it in stride. Are you ready to rumble? The stage is set. With the lights ablaze and no room for regrets. It's hours of screaming, adrenaline's popping. From the kick-up to the buzzer, the excitement is jumping. So grab your chairs, let the games ignite. I said, see the games ignite. Bringing the thunder, it feels so right. It's fun, it feels so right. Welcome to the showdown, it's time to ignite. With the low ball the air, bringing you the fight. With the crowd roaring and the tension so thick. Get ready for highlights, every kick and flip. From the field to the crowd, we breaking it down. Tracking every move from the ace to the crown. But raise the sharp blades and start to impress. We are ultimate soul. From silent, no stress. Get set for the thrill. It's game time now. I will send you through the crowd. Let me show you how. Scores are dropping, wheels are turning, paces high. We're rocking every moment, reaching for the sky. So catch your breath and strap in tight. We're bringing the heat, it feels so right. Lights are flashing, the crowd's in a roar. Get ready for action, it's what we live for. Electric vibes and the energy's on. We're taking the stage, it's time to get it on. 3 highlights, the thrill of the game.
Yamamoto once again winds, fires, ground ball down the hole. Muncy throws over the plate. They get him in time. IKF is out, and there are 2 outs in this inning. Miguel Rojas makes another heroic play from the backside. Will Smith at the plate, winds, fires. It's a fly ball to deep left field. Did he get enough of it? Did he? Straw looks up. It's gone. It's in the bullpen. Will Smith getting jiggy with it, slapping him like he's Chris Rock at the fucking Emmys. Wow. Oh, the Dodgers have taken the lead for the first time this game. Yamamoto sets, winds, delivers. It's a ground ball, broken bat. Mookie Betts for 1 to 2, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are back-to-back World Series champions. Holy shit! What an unbelievable game! What a match! What a resilient comeback!
Get set for the thrill. It's game time now. I will send you to the crowd. Let me show you how. Scores are dropping, wheels are turning, paces high. We're rocking every moment, reaching for the sky. So catch your breath and strap in tight. We're bringing the heat, it feels so right. Lights are flashing, the crowd's in a roar. Get ready for action, it's what we live for. I will send you to the crowd. Let me show you how. Scores are dropping, wheels
You're
are
muted.
turning, paces high.
You're muted.
We're rocking every moment, reaching for the sky.
There
Bro,
we go.
So catch your breath and
I'm
strap
gonna
in
kill this
tight.
computer. Dude, you see how the intro went on? I like pressed the button and then it was just like, nah, I'm not gonna play today.
Technology, bro.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
Raider.
bro. It's gonna be one of those days. I knew we were off for 2 weeks, so it was gonna throw everything at us this time. But anyways, welcome back to Roma Sports. We are back, baby. We had a couple of weeks off. We needed that. We had some stuff that we were doing.
Nice bye week.
Yeah, a couple of bye weeks that we had.
Sounds like Sauce. I think Sauce got 2 bye weeks, actually. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, that's exactly why they traded. That's why he wanted to get traded. He was like, I need another week off.
Yeah. And they're going to Germany, so we'll see what happens.
That's funny. But yeah, so I'm AK, your favorite guy, and tonight. The NASCAR season's over, but there's a couple of legal battles looming. And then our first update in the NBA standings. And then also there's a tragic day in Dallas. We'll talk about that. But first, we've got my co-host. The crew is back. Gargi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to be back. Well rested, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know something?
What's
I'm just
that?
happy to be here, bro. I really am. Sports ignites the fuel in my body. And I'm really happy to see Navas back as well. What's up, bro?
Well, Roma, if you're gonna go ahead and kill your computer, you can follow what I did and tried to kill it with a boot loop, because that's why I wasn't able to do this last time.
Oh,
But-
that's hilarious. We got Biddy in the audience, too. What's going on, Biddy?
The bits. But no. We got a jam-packed show covering NFL, college, NBA, NASCAR, everything in between. But like what we saw in the cold open, that World Series, this past World Series, one of the best in the last 50 years. No ifs, and or buts. You had it all.
Absolutely. Even what was the ALCS? Even the ALCS was like amazing. I love it. I loved it. I'm back. I'm back in the baseball train, baby.
You like that as an
That was awful.
get you going for the
Now-
next season. Yeah.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you Seattle. Seattle. I was terrified of how they were going to do this year. And once again, Seattle punched us in the dick. And it wasn't even their fault.
Yeah.
They just got played by the better team, and it went to 7 games.
Well, the best thing we did see there is the best 4 teams were battling it out. Winner and winner will go to the World Series. So, I'm just a little disappointed that the Brewers went out the way they did by getting swept by the Dodgers and stuff like that. But when you look at the American League, that was super exciting, dude. And every game in the World Series had something special about it. An 18-inning game.
Yes.
Ohtani getting on base 1,000 times. Defensive craziness. Late 2-out home runs by a ninth batter in the lineup who doesn't even hit home runs. He's in for his Gold Glove. So, I thought that World Series was fantastic, dude.
Don't worry, Biddy. I've been called Nev Ass too.
She can't. Yeah, that's Twisted Tea's hitting her right now.
Google that one.
That's funny.
You got to be careful of Mike.
Mike who? Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
Are we going to rise to the middle of America?
Yes, sir. That's right. So before we start, go to risemiddleamerica.com and check out our lineup of podcasts from history to news, pop culture, sports. We cover it all at the top of the page or our socials right there. And then at the bottom is a link to all of our merch. There's all of our ugly faces right there. There's our little merch link right there. And then you can support us by going to the real Roma_AK and hitting that subscribe button, or going to our Discord and signing up for one of our memberships. So like, comment, subscribe, and help us become the largest podcast network on the net. So to finish off with that baseball, it was great. It was great. It was actually very the ratings were up like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long time since we've had exciting baseball like that. I like the way that they've got the setup, where you had the wild card was 3 at home. And then you got the 5 series and then the 7 series. Like it all seems to work out pretty well, because it needed a change.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that would complain that, there's another team making the playoffs. There's so many teams making the playoffs now. But you got to understand, if you just make that last wild card spot, you ain't getting no home game. And I think it's fair, because you're lucky you're even there. You're lucky they even added another team to go in. So I love the whole setup. I love how they series it, home all the way for wild card. Then you get your best of 5. Then you get your 7 for the ALCS, NLCS, and World Series. But again, this Ohtani guy, bro, I mean, is he going to be one of the greats? I mean, I don't even fathom his pitching style. So
here's the thing about baseball right now. Come 2027, so at the end of the 2026 season, baseball is most likely going to be in a lockout.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And that's mostly because players, they don't want a salary cap, but the owners do. Just as much as the owners don't want a salary floor, but the players do. And that's a mutually opposed or mutually dichotomous worldview for the sport.
What would you think would be the better scenario to not have a lockout?
As far as I'm concerned, it's not the Dodgers ruining baseball. Absolutely not. If you want a prime example of the team that is ruining baseball, look no further than Pittsburgh.
Really? Oh, so Pittsburgh's the new Oakland A's now.
Well, they've been that way for the last 2 decades.
Yeah, ever since they got rid of Bonds, it hasn't been a happy sight over there.
Well, let me put it this way. Look at how many pitchers that Pittsburgh has drafted over the years that become generational talents or generational talents. You had Skeens. Then before Skeens, it was Garrett Cole. And then before Garrett Cole, pretty sure you had Chris Carpenter, who went to St. Louis. Fact check me for that. But at the end of the day, it's the teams like the Rockies, the Pirates, the Twins, We already saw back in July, the Twins had a massive fire sale.
Yeah, the Marlins.
And hell, Marlins as well. Hell, even the Oakland A's, they are a perpetual fire sale. And they damn near made the playoffs until their collapse. The only team I would have any amount for their market cap versus their payroll is Tampa Bay. Because Tampa Bay turns coals into diamonds.
Yeah, they figure it out and they don't make themselves look silly by doing it.
That's my team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, another team is actually Kansas City. I would give Royals the same credit they do as I with the Rays, except Kansas City decided to actually pay Bobby Witt Jr.
Right. See, here's the thing. I understand a reason for them to have a minimum salary cap because then it forces teams to actually go out and sign players and to make moves in certain areas, right? Unlike basketball, where in baseball there's a lot of good talent all across the board, right? There's a lot of players that have a lot of unique skill sets. Whereas in basketball or football, you're either good or you're not.
Yeah.
Or you're like a middle. I mean, in basketball, what do they call them? They say a role player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or in the you're a specialty player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'd be
a utility player.
Yeah, or utility player. That's what it is. It's a utility player. Where you have on offense. Yeah, or on offense, you have like a hybrid wide receiver tight end or wide receiver running back.
So,
or on defense, you have like a hybrid, edge rusher safety or some sort.
A prime example in the modern era is Taysom Hill for the Saints.
From New Orleans.
But the most prominent example that I can think of a specialized utility player strictly for one role and one role only in the NFL, Devin Hester.
Yep.
Well, let me throw one at you. I think he actually played wide receiver a couple of games for some reason or another. Cordell Stewart. / He was so crazy with it that they actually said, go line up as wide receiver sometimes. Like, we don't care. You're that good.
I can remember J.J. Watt coming in for a few plays as tight end.
Oh, yeah.
He scored a couple touchdowns.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
I remember they were feeding him that season. They were making a point, just like Philly does the tush push this year, making a point for some stupid reason or another.
I think we need to start making some points, and hopefully they're the fantasy point varieties with our NFLs.
Yeah, remember Warren Sapp? Warren Sapp scored 2 touchdowns. Remember he did the pogo stick?
Oh, yeah. I feel bad for the pogo stick.
Yeah, right.
He was a character. Warren Sapp was a dog. Him and Derek Brooks were dogs. DB 55. Derek Brooks.
No.
Hold on, I gotta find it now. Give me just a second.
What's a pogo stick? I love this. This is
great. My goodness!
I grew up with a
shaking it up like a beer.
Let me see if I can get this. Oh, this is okay.
Gargi, be careful.
I love the spin in the pot and go.
Again, be careful.
No, this is awesome.
I got to see this. Let's play it.
Everything screams run. We'll see if they pass, and they do, and it's Sapp. You think he loves it? Warren Sapp for the touchdown.
and the pogo stick.
I love it. They even knew what it was.
Oh my goodness!
All right, how about that?
Oh, that was great. All right. We're getting way off topic here. All right, let's get into the NFL. We're gonna. That's a good segue into the NFL on Fast and Furious. All right, so let's get back into the NFL. All right, so we've got the American Football Conference, or the AFC, we would like to say. There's been a lot of changes since the last time you were here, Navasa. So the New England Patriots are leading the AFC East right now, and we knew it was a matter of time before the Patriots went in. So we're going to go through each division We're going to do one hot take and then move on to the next. So, Navasa, what you got for the AFC East?
I know they're going to fire Mike McDaniel at the end of the year. There's no reason to fire him now. But if I'm going to do a hot take, Bill Belichick goes to Miami.
After one season at NC?
Why Miami, if I may?
Because, candidly, Bill Belichick is learning the hard way that NIL is a no bueno system, and he's tired of dealing with the kids. He wants grown-ass men to do grown-ass men things.
Well, let me throw one at you.
But not a grown-ass
How
girlfriend.
about he goes to Houston Texans? Can you see that happen? Now that they don't, I mean,
They ain't getting rid of him. Not over there. No, he's been way too loyal. They're going to give him at least to the end of the year and then going into the next year. If he makes the playoffs this year, they'll keep him the following season. He'll be on the hot seat next year if he doesn't make the playoffs this year. But
I'm trying to see who New England has lost to.
well, they lost week 1 to the Raiders. I don't know how that happened.
And then they lost to the Steelers. That's it.
Yeah. Now, with New England, it's funny. They just lost a running back. Henderson, Stevenson, one of the two is gone. Injury. And Booty's been out. So, number 1 receiver gone. One of the 2 running backs gone. No name players. They got a coaching staff. They got a defense. They got cohesiveness. And they got a first place 7-2 record. So, man.
there we go. All right. So now let's move on to the AFC North, the wacky AFC North right now, which is still wide open. The Cleveland Browns still have a chance to win the division. Like, how? How is that even possible? I said that by this week that Shedeur Sanders was going to start. Maybe I was a week early, but here's the thing. If Gabriel does not pick it up this week and start doing some things, I think they're going to think about putting him in. And the reason for it is not because everybody wants him to start, but I think that Gabriel is not their best option to win.
Well, I'll tell you something right now that might actually kick themselves in the ass, because if they really wanted to win this season and try to make it, because their division is so, only one team over 500 and it's only 2 games over in the Pittsburgh Steelers, you shouldn't have traded Flacco. You should have kept Flacco. You could have maybe made a run. Now you traded him over the river, and the Bengals are, even though they're 3-6, they're kind of still in it. You know what I mean? Which is weird. If Cleveland had Flacco, they might be 4-4.
Okay.
Yeah, they averaged 40 points a game the last 2 games and lost.
Let me put it to you this way. As far as the AFC North goes, I only have one thing to say. Steelers going to Super Bowl!
Listen, the Cleveland Browns are a bunch of draft picks.
No.
That's all they are every year.
Out of all of this, the only teams I can see that have any semblance of a cohesive unit, as dysfunctional as it may be, New England,
right,
Buffalo, Pittsburgh. That's it. There you go.
How many times
That's
the
it.
Ravens got Pittsburgh
Denver
one
is the
more
most
time at
fraud-
least, right?
Yes.
'Cause I'm
I can
thinking
tell
the
you right
Ravens
now,
might come
hot
back.
take in the AFC West. The hot take in the AFC West is that Denver is the most fraudulent 7-2 team this decade.
Yeah, their offense is pretty bad, dude.
They're right now it's 10-7 in the beginning of the fourth quarter. I mean, I don't think they're fraudulent. I just think that their quarterback is fraudulent. That's what
Yeah, bro. Go Superchargers, bro. Forget about the Raiders. They suck. The Broncos got no offense, and we all hate the Kansas City Chiefs. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want our boy over there in San Diego to do it up.
You know who I'm waiting for? You want to know who I'm waiting for to get drafted by the Raiders? And it would be poetic as hell if they did. in college football, there's a quarterback named Diego Pavia.
Yep.
He goes into the draft next year. I predict Diego Pavia is going to the Raiders.
Oh, are you talking about
Mark my words?
He's
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, yes.
You think he's coming out right away?
I have been on the Diego Pavia train since he was at New Mexico State when they absolutely hammer blasted Auburn 32-10. In Auburn.
Wow.
Weak.
That's crazy. Yeah, all right. Let's move on to the
You've already got my take in AFC West.
All right.
Yep.
AFC South. The Colts got this. Unless the Jaguars make a run, Houston's not going to make a run. Maybe they'll get in the wild card, but
no.
No, not happening. That's the Colts to win, and they've got a 109-point differential on everybody else on the season. You're not stopping them. All right, AFC West. They were talking about the Broncos. Now, I think you were talking about the Chargers. Kansas City Chiefs, 5-4. The Chiefs on the road are a completely different team than they are at home.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that has to do with their offense and their offensive pieces, right? Their defense travels, their defense is doing well, but their offense at home is doing fantastic. But on the road, it's just been...
Yeah, it's night and day with them on that situation. They just added Rashee Rice a couple of weeks back. He's off the injured list, ready to roll, and he's a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. The Chiefs were supposed to trade for Breece Hall.
I heard about that. The Jets said no.
The Jets said no. The Chiefs wanted to give him a fourth-round pick, and the Jets would not budge off of the third-rounder. Which, I mean, to be honest, I mean, he is worth a third-rounder. And the Chiefs have also used a third-rounder to get Kadarius Toney.
Okay.
So you know that they would be willing to do so, and that would have completely changed the Chiefs' offense. Oh my goodness!
I think the Jets balked on that because of the fact that the trades that they made before that, a couple of trades, they're already loaded first-round picks ready to go. They got 2-3 first-round picks from these two deals that they made with Sauce and Quentin Williams. So they're loaded. They got a receiver back. And then here comes Kansas City trying to steal a very good running back, which would fit perfect in that offense. You could see it. I could see it. I could even see a Breece Hall Kansas City Chief jersey. But the Jets were smarter than that. In order to win the Super Bowl, you got to get by Kansas City. I ain't trading you my running back. So good for the Jets. They didn't get rid of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right, let's move out of the AFC and into the NFC. We've got the NFC East.
This is a dog conference, and I love it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the Commanders are done without Daniels. The Giants, I mean, they were already done, and they just need to they need to blow up that coaching staff.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a Dable fan.
Hot take.
Really am, but
hot take. Scatterboo comes back next year, MVP.
No.
Yeah, he's not really like a McCaffrey. I mean, he can do some damage, but he's not a superstar. Dart's the superstar. Neighbors is the superstar.
No, Scatterboo, you do not understand the untapped potential that human wrecking ball has.
Oh, I do. I post his face all the
Saquon
time.
Barkley is a Dodger, if you will. McAfee can juke. Scatterboo literally takes the crown and the shoulder pads square into your face and says, "Get out of my freaking way."
Listen, the Giants are 2 years too late if you think about it. Now that they have their future quarterback, man, if they would have had Barkley still. And Neighbors, oh my God, you know what I mean? So
I never said that Scatterboo is going to be on the Giants. I just said that next year Scatterboo will be an MVP.
Well, listen, no one's going to take a kid coming off a dislocated elbow. He's going to stay with the Giants. Plus, I think he's under the 3-year thing.
Oh yeah, the rookie contract.
Hold on. Why is Dallas in second place?
Well, and look at their record. Philly's got that division locked. The NFC East is shrinks this year, but I got two teams that are sticking out to me right now. I don't know what you guys think about. One of them's the Chicago Bears, and the other one is the Carolina Panthers, bro. What is going on in Carolina?
Nah, man. I have to give my hot take for the NFC North in that I will formally apologize to Caleb Williams for not having faith in the son of a gun. I don't trust any quarterback from USC since Carson Palmer. I will retract my statement and say Caleb Williams is the exception.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, first off, I want to talk about is the Carolina Panthers beat the Chicago Bears, so that's going to have actual playoff implications.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's a good little stat to throw out there, just in case tiebreaker scenario.
I'm sorry. No, they didn't play. No, Carolina played Green Bay. Was it?
Yeah, they just beat.
Yeah, they beat Green Bay. I'm sorry, not Chicago.
In Lambeau.
Okay. But that's going to be the matchup you want to watch out for, right? Because Chicago's 5-3, right behind Green Bay and Detroit, and I think Detroit and Chicago play this week, don't they?
Let's check that out. Yeah, but we got a bigger game than that.
Hold on, Detroit and who?
Detroit and Chicago this week?
No, it's Eagles Packers Lambeau Monday Night Football.
Ooh.
And then Giants at the Bears.
Giants at Bears.
Oh, that's right.
And that's the highest over-under of the weekend, I think, besides the Lions and Commanders, which is going to be a 38-14 doggy.
Yeah, the Giants, I mean, they're actually scoring points now. It's just they turn over the ball at the most inopportune times. And
they don't know how to win. They know how to lose.
Give the other team short fields.
Yeah. All right, Navasa, let me ask you a question. You're the coach or the GM, whatever. You're down by 30 in the fourth quarter with your franchise quarterback. 4 minutes left. You leave him in the game. He breaks his arm, Jaden Daniels.
If I'm the head coach down by 30, I would have already pulled Jalen Daniels midway through the third.
So you're fired, bro. They just ruined the franchise. The kid's arm was behind his head.
Yeah, it was ugly. Oh my God, I don't even want to know what that felt like, because not only did it bend the way that it did, but you got to understand the nerves, the tendons,
it go that way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's 6'4", 210. That's Randy Moss. Randy Moss was that size.
He's pretty tall. He has a big advantage with his height. There's a running back on the Chicago Bears that went to Rutgers. He killed it. Manungai!
Dude, that guy was a
Let's go!
He was a massive pickup last week. He did really well.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he have 170 yards?
Yeah, Manungai time.
Offense, it was insane.
I'd be going to work on a Saturday.
With the
right?
NFC.
Going to work. I'm sorry. 1 second. I'll be going to work on a Saturday, and I'm listening to the Rutgers game on the radio in the car, and all I hear is Manungai touchdown for 4 years. He played 5 years. Red shirt the whole nine. He's a good running back, bro.
That's hilarious. Yeah. But yeah,
that's
so
100. That's fair.
Yeah. So as far as the NFC South is concerned, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they need to watch out.
Yeah, they're starting to slip a little bit. They might get hurt. Come on, let's wake up, Baker. You know what I mean? Their receivers are on. And the defense is horrible. So
they get one back this week.
Who's coming back?
What's his name? No. Godwin. Yeah, Chris Godwin's coming back this week.
He's solid. Did you see who was quarterbacking down in Atlanta this weekend, Navasa? He went into New England and tried to win a game.
Wait,
most expensive quarterback in the National Football League. Guy was throwing ducks.
Why the heck was he on the field?
Penix was hurt.
Well, that'll do it. Oh God, don't remind me about CJ Stroud bouncing his head off the turf.
Yeah,
but no, definitely keep an eye on Carolina, especially because much like how every quarterback that's coming into the NFL, if they don't have the right head coach or the right foundation to build on. They're going to develop bad habits, bad mentalities, etc. Bryce Young finally has something to work with.
Yeah, and
his name is Dave Canales.
Listen, they got some good pieces out there. They got McMillan, a young receiver. They got Leggett. You know, they got Rico Dowdley now. You know, I mean, you know, a quarterback future. But they got two things going for them in the standings. I mean, look, they're 1-0 in the division, and they're 3-1 in the NFC conference. That's big when it comes down to tiebreakers for wild cards and stuff like that if they come up short for the division.
Now, you want to talk about tiebreakers and wild cards, look no further than the NFC West. Yeah. What the hell?
This is insane. Yeah. And the thing is that the 49ers should not be 6-3.
You know, again, they get no respect. I talk about this all the time. They're a solid team. All right. Mac Jones does his thing, bro. He walks around the field with bloody noses all the time and winds up winning a game. But now McCaffrey's back. The dude's a beast. He tore the Giants up last weekend. He's heating up. He's going to carry this team as long as they don't turn the ball over. But what about Jacoby Brissett in Arizona? I mean, Kyle Murray should just retire.
Nah. He shouldn't just retire. He needs to go back to the Call of Duty lobbies.
I heard he was drafted to play baseball, Kyle Murray, and he chose football.
To the Athletics.
Bad choice.
Yes.
No wonder. No wonder why he.
Seattle, what are they doing with Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
And these receivers. Now they made a move, right? They got Rashid Shaheed from New Orleans to join Jackson Smith-Njigba. They also got a really good tight end in Carlson. So Darnold's got some weapons. And they got the 12th man out there in Seattle.
Well, Seattle also has Cooper Kupp. You know that, right?
Look at that, right in the slot.
So, yeah, at this point right now, NFC West is completely up for grabs.
Absolutely.
NFC North is completely up for grabs.
Oh, yeah, the NFC North.
Yeah, everyone's 500 or better. Every team. I think that's the only division, right? That's like that?
Yes.
Just roll up real quick. 500 is 4-4. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. I said that at the beginning of the season, boys. If you don't remember, I said I think the NFC North is the toughest division in football this year because of what I was seeing with all these teams, and so far it's coming true. So,
where do we go from here, boss? We've done our hot takes. We've done our.
Give me a second. Sorry, I'm like doing 15 things at once here. All right, so let's move on to the college football rankings. I'm gonna let you guys take over with this for a second.
You want to lead us off there, Papa Schmiel?
Fuck the Bucks! Fuck the Bucks! Fuck you, Buckeyes!
Ohio! Ohio!
Still crazy.
Yes, we are. But no, Ohio State. What else do we expect out of them other than number ones, always winning? Indiana, they went ahead and set my record straight with them. I hate the schedule that Indiana gets, but at the same time, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they still got to go on the road. They had to play some big teams, and they won, bro. You know, they went into Penn State and they beat them up. Okay, they're going to be playing Ohio State
without James Franklin.
Yeah, without Franklin. Thank you for that. They're going to wind up playing Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, and they deserve it, bro. I mean, no one talked about this team, bro. They were nobody. You know, even though they were ranked to start the season, they kind of really weren't anything that you would think would be top 5. And when the chips fall into place, now we're looking at a 9-0 Hoosier team that is actually scoring the most points, I think, in college football on average. You know, there you go. And, you know, Texas A&M was just really knocking on the door.
Look,
those Aggies.
if I'm going to give any credit where credit is absolutely due, I'm going to go give it to Alabama. Because Alabama, they got their asses handed. Again, they got their asses handed by Florida State. They turned the ship around.
Didn't they? No, who did they lose to? Florida State or the Hurricanes?
Florida State.
Okay.
And with all due respect, Bama, it may not be the Nick Saban levels of I hate you discipline, but Caleb DeBoer knows how to run a team. I speak from experience.
Yeah.
But it's all the usual actors. I will say Virginia does surprise me.
Huh. Yeah, they actually do. Look at that. And I'm surprised Oregon's still, 7-1. I mean, I thought they would get at least another loss there, but there's a team that's bothering me for a couple of reasons. One, their conference is fake. And two, they got 2 losses, and I really need them to just drop out of everything, and that's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Yep, independent.
It's pathetic. I mean,
How do you
look
have
at
a conference if you're independent?
Look, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC. Oh, what's this FBS independent stuff going on? One of
All
the
right,
rich
so
schools.
hold on. Now they lost to Miami and Texas A&M, who's number 3 right now, which is my team. I called it.
Okay.
But since then, I mean, they've basically been sleepwalking every other team that they played. I mean, USC, they beat 34-24. They got Navy coming up this weekend. Then they've got Pitt the next weekend, number 24, then Syracuse and Stanford. So if they went out, I think they should be in the playoff. But that really depends on if they're able to move up, right? Because you've got all these teams that are above them that have much stronger schedules.
Yeah, schedule. Yep.
And the thing is, do any of them play each other? Because that's the only way that this is going to.
Alabama against Georgia, maybe, right? One of those hookups.
I think so.
I can tell you that Ohio State does not play Indiana in the regular season.
Alabama played Georgia week 4. You seen that? Who won?
Week 4, that was Bama. Yeah, by 3 points.
So that's the only loss for Georgia was from Bama.
Yeah, they won every other game.
That's big. That means Georgia's in a bad place right now.
Well, they also beat Ole Miss and Tennessee. So, I mean,
now let me ask you a question: if Notre Dame, since Notre Dame won 6 straight, they started out 0-2, and then they won 6 in a row. If they played Miami and Texas A&M now instead of week 1 and 2, do you think Notre Dame would beat any of those teams, or it's probably would stay the same?
No, and Notre Dame would have been ranked about the same.
Okay,
right now. So if they would have been ranked number 10 and then lost all those games, they'd be out of the top 25. So
okay.
So I do want to point you guys to. I do want to go ahead and touch just a little bit the Group of 5 pick for the college football playoff. So if you guys scroll down, you'll see. I'm pretty sure there is not a Group of 5 team in the top 25. Correct. There is not. Meaning, most likely the team that's going to come out of the Group of 5 conferences for the Group of 5 pick is most likely going to come from the American this year, unless San Diego State wins out in convincing fashion. With that being said, Navy has the most opportune time to knock off or to notch a top 10 victory against Notre Dame. this week. Navy's out of the American.
And I picked Navy when they had one vote week 1.
I mean, you also got to remember at the beginning of the college football season when we were trying to get our best of 5 schools in, and I said James Madison.
You did say JM. What's up with that?
Yeah. Well, as of right now, they've got 53 votes to be in the top 25.
Wow.
They could sneak in. They could sneak in by the end of the season.
How come Navy's not on this list?
Navy? What do you mean? They're in the top 10.
No, Notre Dame is, not Navy.
Oh, Navy.
Because I think Navy
for the 5.
Navy only has one loss this year. That is against North Texas. But Navy has the gauntlet. Navy has a 4-week gauntlet, starting off with North Texas, then going to Notre Dame, hosting South Florida, and then at Memphis. And then ending the year at Army.
Who in the world?
That's a rough one. Indiana travels to Happy Valley.
Penn State don't mean anything. But like I said, Navy, Memphis, South Florida, North Texas, those are your highest 4 Group of 5 teams out of the American, alongside James Madison and very unlikely San Diego State out of the Mountain West.
Okay. I'm going to give you the game of the week to watch on college football. It's 12 o'clock start. It's number 7 BYU at number 8 Texas Tech.
Ooh.
Boy.
Ooh.
Talk about a game. Big 12, lock it up.
Yeah, I mean, the winner of that game is they're definitely in the driver's seat.
They're going to be jolted.
That's for sure.
Okay. I see 2 trap games out of the ACC this week. 2 of them. Ready? First one, Wake Forest at Virginia. And then Cal at Louisville. Both of those games scream traps for Virginia and Louisville.
Cal at Louisville.
I like the Wake Forest bet at Wake Forest getting 6.5 on the road. I like that better than Cal getting 19 on the road in Louisville. I do like that Wake Forest bet.
Yeah, Wake Forest. I mean, they're attempting to be giant killers, but they're not there yet.
Well, they're demons. They're the demon deacons.
Oh boy! All right, so that's it for top 10. I mean, you've got Ohio State number 1, Indiana number 2, my Texas A&M number 3, Alabama.
All right, who's number 1? Gotcha.
Ohio. All right, Georgia number 5, Ole Miss number 6, BYU and Texas Tech 7 and 8. They face off this weekend. Number 9, Oregon. Number 10, Notre Dame. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to our third portion of this segment, and that is with NASCAR. Let's figure out what's going on over there.
Over the last year, the world of NASCAR has been wrapped up in one of the most convoluted and publicly nasty lawsuits the sport has ever seen. Team owners Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, Bob Jenkins have filed an antitrust lawsuit against NASCAR's ownership, stating that it uses monopolistic powers to leverage itself into a position to not only corner an entire market, but to abuse said leverage and to take advantage of the patrons in said market. What does all of this mean? How true are these accusations? And where do we go from here post-lawsuit? To start, let me clarify that I am not a lawyer, so in regards to in-depth legal information pertaining to this suit and the additional cases circling this, I am not an expert, and I will not attempt to fully explain how the legal proceedings and motions will commence moving forward. Instead, let's go over how all of this...
So, folks, I'm going to play this through as long as possible just so we can get through and understand everything, and then we'll have a short discussion afterwards.
Started. The charter agreement.
That's why I was saying if you
All the
can't
way back in
go up to
2016,
1.25.
NASCAR introduced what is called the charter system, basically stock car racing's version of a franchising system, ensuring any team with one of these charters will have a permanent entry into every race for that season.
There you go.
Only 36 of them were handed out, and all were carried through the first 9 seasons of the charter deal. Entering 2024, the last year of the contract, NASCAR had just signed the biggest TV deal it had ever negotiated, and next up was finalizing the second ever charter agreement between the teams. This was, however, the first time a negotiation like this had ever happened in the sport. Teams had never uniformly negotiated together the way revenue would be split across the sport. Therefore, they used this to their advantage, and they brought up a plethora of issues they had with the current state of the sport. NASCAR was expecting these conversations to go relatively smoothly, so when the teams did this, conversations between the parties completely stalled out. The slow start became a problem immediately, as negotiations were already behind schedule. Initially, teams wanted to start discussions well before 2024, citing original questions being asked as far back as 2022. But NASCAR wanted to wait till after its TV deal, which was set to expire the same time the charter agreement was. The negotiation of the TV deal was also delayed, and it finished in late 2023, roughly 6 months behind schedule. This set up only 1 full year of talks between the teams and NASCAR, an extremely tight window to work in. Of the concerns that many of the teams brought to the table was the charters were temporary. Originally, there was a clause that allowed NASCAR to take charters away if a team performed poorly enough. The teams not only wanted to eliminate this clause, but also write into the new contract wording that charters would be guaranteed for as long as NASCAR existed. The officiating body did not want to do this, stating they can only guarantee the charter system and how it functions for as long as the TV deal is guaranteed, hence why they negotiated them at the same time. The teams, however, pointed to other sports leagues and how they function, stating that others face the same problem, but still guarantee permanent franchises. Secondly, the teams wanted more money, citing that NASCAR's new car hadn't decreased costs at all, instead increasing, due to it being comprised primarily of single-source parts. NASCAR thought they had already conceded enough money, and stated it needed a hefty piece of the pie to run the racetracks it owns. And lastly, the biggest point of all the teams made was they wanted more say in the decision-making that went into the rules, spending, and overall officiating of the sport. Something that had never been done or asked for in the history of NASCAR. Since the beginning of its existence, the France family has operated the sport like a monarchy. There has been the occasional driver versus NASCAR flare-up, but especially under the guise of Bill France Jr., the drivers and teams never really felt the France family abuse their powers. Until now, it seemed. Rumors ran rampant about all sorts of outcomes. There were even reports about the teams leaving and making their own stock car series. But as the 2024 season went on, concessions were made on both sides. And closing in on the NASCAR playoffs, everything seemed to have reached a conclusion. The Friday before the first playoff race at Atlanta, the new contract was signed. The controversy was over for all except 2 teams, 23XI and Front Row Motorsports. They did not sign the deal. The 2 teams represented 4 cars in the 2024 season, and had both just recently purchased an additional 2 charters to make it 6 for the 2025 season. In essence, only 30 charters of the 36 signed the deal. And NASCAR turned its back on the 2 rogue teams, stating its intention on operating as is, and the 2 teams would need to work as open cars. They were no longer locked in the races after 2024. And while it may seem that these 2 rogue parties were in a vast minority, as everybody else signed the deal, many of the teams still vocalized unhappiness. An outpouring of negative comments came gushing in, and rumors about how the negotiations went soured the thought of this being even a fair deal. Multiple sources reported that NASCAR had basically put a deal forth that was bloated and convoluted, and gave them only 1 hour to sign, or else. The way it was described basically meant the teams signed panicked and pressured. Now, how true that really is still unknown. Some teams corroborate that information, and others state that it was a fair situation. Regardless, everything seemed to have quieted down about the situation until October 2nd, 2024.
All right, so that's a good place to stop. All right, Devasa, it's your time to shine.
Google it.
So basically, screw you, but I agree. So with the charters that were in the system at this time, some of the big issues at hand at the moment are now, there's a lot to divvy up in this, but with 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports, they believed that for 2311, it was an unfair and untenable deal in the first place. That's why they were against it. Versus Front Row Motorsports, when the charter agreement was brought to them, they argued initially that they didn't even have enough time to review the document properly, and that's why they voted no, because like the video said, you had 1 hour. They only had 1 hour to actually review the document and make a decision that was going to affect the entire team as a whole. So now when they brought try being behind a series of 8 balls.
Jeez.
But anyways, when they filed the suit in October, there were a series of motions to dismiss, summary judgments, preliminary motions, injunctions, etc. All the legalese you could ever want. Initially, the teams won their preliminary injunction to stay as chartered teams while the lawsuit was going forward. And then the Fourth Circuit came in and said, fuck you. Now, mind you, this case was brought forth in U.S. District Court, I believe it's either Southern North Carolina or Central North Carolina. But it's the Charlotte region because that's where all the teams are housed and that's where NASCAR is headquartered. So Charlotte makes sense. Judge Kenneth Bell gave the preliminary injunction to NASCAR saying you're going to pay the teams like their charter teams because if you're an open team, you get less shares of the revenue pies, especially for the media deals. Fourth Circuit out of Richmond said, fuck you. NASCAR has every right to do what they're doing because you're basically trying to have your cake and eat it too by not agreeing to the charter agreement. Now, personally, I disagree with the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals decision because the preliminary injunction is there to prevent irreparable damages happening. Now, the monetary side of the equation, that is one thing. But at the time, the rules were said if you didn't have a charter, you were an open team, and if you didn't qualify for your races, then you didn't get the money. And that put risk to primarily 2311 Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, and then subsequently Riley Herbst versus Furniture Row Racing's Todd Gilliland and 2 other teams from Furniture Row or Front Row Motorsports. Excuse me. Anyways, what we have now is that there will be a trial. There will be a jury trial held in December this year, arguing whether NASCAR is a monopoly. And this will have ramifications not only to the motorsports world with regards to ARCA Menards versus F1 versus IndyCar, because it will set precedents, but it will also test the House deal and NIL. Because it's the same attorney group that got the House decision finalized in college football that brought in the NIL era. Same group, because if this decision for the antitrust suit against NASCAR succeeds, and NASCAR is found to be a monopoly, that has a series of ramifications, especially going against the NCAA.
So I don't have a lot of information about it, but as far as I'm gathering, I think they're good. I don't think they're going to lose, and I don't think they're a monopoly. There's nothing out there. It's not like they're putting the brakes on somebody and forcing them to say, "Hey, you can't make a racing league." You know, we're the only ones here. There's nobody out there anyway.
Yeah, but the issue is like, look at all the contracts that they have at all these different racing venues. Like, who else is going to be able to race there that doesn't have billions of dollars backing them, right? So,
mind you, NASCAR owns half the tracks already, soon to be 2/3.
Well, that's different. Now, if they're buying tracks, that's a monopolizer. That would fit in that category, I believe. Now a strong arm.
Well, that would fit in that category, but then what they would force them to do is to sell off the tracks.
Yeah,
still
so
be
that's
there
why they're bumping
off the tracks.
heads right now, and they're going to court and being a bunch of douchies.
Exactly, and obviously
Well-
Michael Jordan is probably the one that's paying for all of this.
You know, when I think of NASCAR really quickly, you know, I don't really know much about it. You know, I'll be honest with you. Navas is our insider. I think of speed. I think of the Nextel Cup, and I think of Dale Earnhardt. So, you know, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, man. You know, it doesn't sound like it's my cup of tea. I think everybody's just trying to get their fingers in and getting their hands in and trying to make some noise.
Well, it's because of the money.
Yeah.
It always comes down to the money. I mean, one of the biggest deals that's ever been signed. And it's like now everybody knows because so when you come from what were they getting paid as their contract deal before the $7.7 billion deal?
Was this from Fox?
So NASCAR typically runs about 3 or 4 TV partners just because of the way that NASCAR is set up. It's a weekly racing series. So for the first half of the year, it's Fox. Then it was TNT for about
$1.7 billion. So now, so they're quintupling the amount of money going into it. So they've been at operating cost at 1.7 billion for a couple of years, right? So when you quintuple that money has to go somewhere. Like you can't just be like, okay, all that money is mine as the owner. No, you actually have to spend that money.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the same thing that works in CBA negotiations. The same thing in the NFLPA negotiations. When that money goes up, they have to figure out where all that extra money is going to go.
Well, let me ask you a question. Where would it go? Like, how could NASCAR spend money? You can't, upgrade a track when it needs to be? Big deal. You're not changing the venue. You're not changing any of the graphics. The cars are the same. The engines are the same. You know, what could you possibly do different
and
spend money like that? A lot of money.
So what ended up happening is when the car that is being driven today, like the video said, it was supposed to reduce costs to all of the teams because it's supposed to standardize and single source components. Well, that's not the way it works. If you single source the components, you know damn well the companies are going to jack up the prices for the parts because there's no competition.
Exactly.
And that's where, in the grand scheme of things, this is where NASCAR's pursuit of parity has now bit them in the butt. Because now you can't have a Chevy version of a stock car. You can't have a Ford version of a stock car. Hell, now Dodge is just now coming back in the sport after leaving in 2003, 2004. They're just now coming back, and it's only in the trucks. So right now, if there's any money that's going to be spent, it's going to have to be back into the teams to redesign the cars, because what they're learning is that the parity endeavor to try to capture this mythical casual racing fan it's an absolute failure. And because of this pursuit of the casual racing fan, the product has failed or is sucking. The drivers are pretty much cardboard cutouts of of every insert basic white guy here. Like, the only person that has any personality of a driver is freaking Denny Hamlin. And that's because the guy openly rants against NASCAR on his own podcast. Actions Detrimental. That's what his podcast is. But there's nothing.
Well, you said a good word. Mythical. Sounds like a mythical sport to me.
I'm wondering if they're going to start trying to diversify.
Diversify.
Yeah.
In what regard?
Or they're going to try to get drivers from different countries and different, backgrounds and stuff like that, just to kind of bring people in.
They've already got Shane Van Gisbergen, a New Zealand prodigy of a racer. His oval game isn't great. It is getting better. but he's won the last 6 road courses in NASCAR consecutively.
Really?
So it's like if you ever go to the betting odds, anytime NASCAR goes to a road course, you'll see Shane Van Gisbergen at a minus 110 or minus 200, which in NASCAR, if you are a minus, then you are so dominant at the track that you are going to get paid out less than what you put in. Normally, the betting odds are typically between plus 300 and plus 600 on any given weekend. It's normally about a plus 1,000 when it comes to the restrictor plates. But after that, the game of parity has finally caught up. And what we saw with this past weekend's championship race, the fastest car did not win the championship. It was pure luck.
Huh.
And that's why everyone on the NASCAR Twitter, that's why everyone on NASCAR Twitter is saying that Denny Hamlin should have won the championship. But because of a random tire being blown within 2 or 3 to go, in Denny Hamlin's own words, if we would have lasted another 40 seconds, we would have been champions. But the tire blew at the exact wrong time, creating the added drama, and just a pure circumstantial tire failure caused Kyle Larson to win the championship by taking 2 tires instead of 4. And that is what NASCAR now has to stare at the wall.
Yeah.
So
we'll see when they go to court. Really quickly for you football fans, the Denver Broncos have beat the Las Vegas Raiders 10-7 in probably the worst game prime time this year.
Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, guys. My internet had a little hiccup. I told you, the internet knew I was coming back, so it was like we're just going to make this game as the worst game.
Really quickly, 10-7 is your final. I think there was more penalties. I think there was 18 penalties compared to 17 total points from both clubs.
Flag again.
Allegedly. So to wrap up this NASCAR situation, what do you see going forward?
If the teams win the antitrust suit, I would not be surprised if NASCAR goes into its own lockout in 2027.
Wow. We're going to be a lot of sports and lockouts in 26-27, man.
When's the next NFL CBA?
28.
Roma?
You said the CBA, right?
For the NFL.
Oh, for the NFL.
When's the next NFL CBA?
It's either 27 or 28.
I think we're good for another season.
Oh, if it's 2027, American sports might get locked out.
Yo, man.
Because you already got baseball that's coming in 2027. NASCAR may end up in its own lockout.
Listen, we need to bring back the ladies, and we need to bring back rollerball, bro. All right? When they circle around and roller skates and elbow each other and play relay races.
All right, so we got next major NFL TV deal could be renegotiated as early as 2026 following an opt-out clause in the current deals that allows the NFL to renegotiate with its partners after the 2029-2030 season. The league is motivated to increase revenue and may choose to act sooner than the 2029 opt-out. Now, let's look up, what is it, the NFL
CBA contract?
CBA revenue expiration is at the end of 2030.
Okay. So we got another 5 years.
Right.
Well,
because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen with the NFL is that they're going to talk about trying to add in more teams.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a big point of emphasis because 32 is perfect. Everything right now is perfect. All right. I actually hated the fact that they that they opened it up to 7 teams instead of 6 for the playoffs. But I get why, because it's an extra game, which is extra money, which is all kinds of stuff. And you have to remember that when the TV contract negotiations go upward, they have to spend that money on something.
Now,
right?
Yeah.
So
let me ask you guys a question. Was I dreaming? Was I dreaming this, guys? Didn't we have 5 teams in a division with 4 all over the place, and there was 5 in a division? Do you remember that? Do you remember that there was a division in football where they had 5 teams and everyone else had 4?
I don't think that ever, because they changed to the 32 team 4 teams per division format in 2002 when the Texans came in. I don't remember them ever being that, but I do remember the old NFC West when it was only 4 teams in the NFC West. And that was it was the Seattle Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
And it was like, how is that possible when you've got 7 teams in this division, 6 teams in that one? Like
that's what came to my mind. Okay, cool.
When they had the old Central.
I hate to tell you guys this, but much like our next segment, I need to take a leak.
Allegedly.
That's hilarious. All right, well, he's going to take a leak. We all need to take leaks. It's League Leaks. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go into the NBA. I mean, we've gone way over a lot of these, so we're going to kind of fly through this one. All right, so in the NBA standings, let's see what we've got. We're going to take the top 6 teams in the East and the top 6 teams in the West. All right. Kind of go through their records and what they've done so far. Let's start with the East with the surprising 6-1 Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they were kicking ass. They were 6-0. They beat the Knicks at home. They were just winning games. Nobody knew what was going on there. They got, they got the same team from last year. Cohesiveness is the name of the game. But the Knicks gave them their first loss, thank the Lord. But yeah, Chicago 6-1, bro.
Yeah, they got that game winner from Vooch.
Yo, Nikolai
against the Sixers, man. The Sixers. They lost 2 straight in like epic fashion.
Yeah, and Embiid returned. Embiid returns, you lose. You know the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Detroit Pistons at number 2. So what are they in the last?
I think they're starting to heat up. They won 4 in a row. It's down all the way at the end, and they're right there. And they score. They play defense. They score. They're pretty good at home. Let's see what happens with them. They're young. Yeah, dude.
No, exactly. Yeah, and then of course your New York Knicks.
Yeah, dude. What do you think about the Knickies?
Yeah, the Knicks are they've got a completely different play style now than they did last year. Last year was all defense, but that's Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau just runs you into the ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're a starter, you're going to start and you're going to finish with him. You know what I mean? You're a bench player, you ain't playing. Listen, here's the deal with the Knicks real quick. There's a lot of talk going on that, we're really not too keen. We're not too happy on Karl Anthony Towns. He's looking a little lazy. He's looking like his skills are diminishing. Would you trade Karl Anthony Towns back to Minnesota for Randall and DiVincenzo? Talk to me.
No, Minnesota would never do that. They would never do. Now I'll tell you what though. There's a couple teams that could use him. Like Charlotte could definitely use him.
Oh yeah. I got one more for you. Would you trade Josh Hart and Karl Towns for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Oh yes.
That's the trade I would look at.
Absolutely, and not only that, but you would be bolstering the depth of the Bucks, who really have no depth right now. It's basically the Milwaukee Giannis's.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do it by himself. I mean, if I was really him, I would think about doing something like that. I mean, if you add Yanni to the Knicks with Brunson leading the way, you got OG Anube, who's Defensive Player of the Year. You got Bridges, the guy, his span, his length of his arms, defense, jump shots, awesomeness. We got Mitchell Robinson. All right. You add Giannis to that starting five, we'll see you at the NBA Finals, bro.
That'd be very interesting. And then having a big name come back to New York, but you guys have been missing since Carmelo left.
Yeah, pretty much. Marbury, Carmelo, Ewing. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah, and the thing is that Giannis being there would take a lot of pressure off of Brunson.
Yeah, it would just make the Knicks, I think, complete.
I agree with that. I'd take that deal. Well, they'd have to give up a first as well.
Now, no one's ever mentioned that. I created that deal.
No, I know you did. I'm just saying I'm adding to it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, that's something that, sometimes I wish I was the GM of the team,
Yep. Now, next we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, we've got a log jam at 5-3 coming up. Cleveland Cavaliers, Milwaukee Bucks, and Philadelphia 76ers. Cleveland they are a streaky team. Like when they're good, they're unstoppable. But when they go through their slumps, it's like
the bad thing about it is they're 5-3. The first 7 games they played, they were out without their starting point guard and Darius Garland. He just returned the other night. Mitchell can't do it all by himself, but you got Evan Mobley. You got the pieces around him.
Mobley stepped it up.
Yeah, he did. He's scoring, he's hustling, and you got the Fro in Jared Allen. So, with the pieces around you, DeAndre Hunter, I believe, is there as well, scoring 16 a game.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be fine. They'll be in the top 4.
Yeah, you'll be all right. All right, then, of course, we talked about Milwaukee already.
Yep.
And then Philadelphia 76ers, one of the most electric backcourts I'd ever seen.
Yeah, they got VJ Edgecombe. They got Tyrese Maxey. Tobias is playing some good ball. They got Kelly Oubre. He's a veteran. He's good to go. Philly's young. They're hungry. They got to get rid of Embiid, bro. That contract destroyed them.
It is, and the thing is that I think they can win without him. What they're showing right now is that they don't need him to win.
And they've played enough games without him to know that. You're absolutely right about that.
So, question: where would you send Embiid?
It depends. What's his stamina like? Do you still have lingering injuries significant, or are you about to come back and do your thing? Now, I know he was back the other night. He only played 16 minutes or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely ship him out. Do you want to contend and say Golden State? They don't have a center. They play with Draymond Green.
They wouldn't be able to afford him. How about the Sacramento Kings?
So you would move Sabonis over, right?
You'd move Sabonis over to no, because they wouldn't get rid of Sabonis.
Well, listen, let me tell you something about the Kings. They got Levine, DeRozan, Westbrook. They got Malik Monk. The guy comes off the bench. He scores 18 points like a maniac.
Yeah. Right? So Malik Monk and DeRozan.
Yes.
And send him over to Philly and send Embiid over there.
And hang out with Westbrook, Embiid, Levine, and Sabonis. That sounds pretty good.
Because then Edgecombe can sit on the bench and play the second unit. And you wouldn't be able to stop their scoring.
Yeah. No.
There's absolutely no way you'd be able to do that. Right.
Now, yeah. What about Dallas? Dallas don't have a center.
Dallas doesn't either. I mean, they've got Anthony Davis, but he's not a true center. He's a
power forward.
He's a power forward. He's a stretch forward, is what he is.
Yeah, you're right. He is a stretcher. Really quickly, Milwaukee Bucks. What do you think about that young guard in Rollins? He's pretty good.
He is. And a lot of these teams like to find diamond in the roughs.
Yeah, like a man on Washington named Alexander Sarr.
Dude, Sarr is going to be a force to be reckoned with over the next couple of years. He really is. Like,
what a draft class too this year.
7'2", 265, like a walking machine. He already has an NBA body.
Yeah, and he's got how do you say, confidence?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't lack that at all. That's the only positive for Washington. If I was Washington, I would send them out.
No, you don't send him out. You keep him and you get rid of these old head contracts you've got.
We were talking about
and
that.
Chris Middleton and I know what they were trying to do there, but they're about 4 years too late.
Yeah, I can't see Washington being competitive regardless, though.
No, I would send those two off to because you're not. I mean, you're last in the conference right now, and you're not going. I'd be surprised if they win 15 games this year. So, I would definitely send them off. I mean, they've got another kid in Washington. Who is it? Is it Johnson?
Carrington? Whitmore?
What is his name? Now I have to.
Johnson.
Give me a second. Is it AJ Johnson?
Trey Johnson, Texas, number 6 pick.
So remember how you guys said that NASCAR was my
Trey Johnson. Yeah, Johnson is a good. He's a good pickup too, right? Like he's gonna him and Sarr together. They're going to be wrecking over. I'm going to say 2028. 2028. Those two working together, if they get some good pieces in the Washington team, those two guys are going to be pretty good. I could see Trey Johnson averaging 25, 26 points a game.
Yeah, and Alex Sarr was a number 2 pick in 2024's draft.
Exactly. What were you saying, Navasa?
All I was saying is you guys said earlier that NASCAR was my shtick and my insider. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got nothing on NBA.
Well, I got something. How important is Jason Tatum to the Boston Celtics?
They're not getting rid of him.
But look at their record. They don't have him. They're struggling to win.
Well, they can't trade him right now because he's on IR. So, honestly, they did the best they could with like trading off Porzingis or whatnot. Hey, what about sending Embiid to the Celtics?
Boston? Oh God, I mean that would be good for them. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that as a Knicks fan.
Yeah, I know, right? I wouldn't want to see it as a Magic fan.
No. And they got Anthony Simmons too to Boston.
Yeah, I mean they'd be getting rid of their entire bench. I mean, you're talking what's his name? Oh my God,
who are we talking about? Boston? Jaylen Brown?
Yeah. Like you're talking. Would you possibly get rid of Jaylen Brown? You're possibly getting rid of.
They got Derek White. Pritchard.
Derek White. Like you'd have to get those two out.
Yeah, they got this guy. That's actually a good place for Embiid to maybe land because they only have that kid Queta. Boston. I mean, that's really nothing too crazy there. So, Exactly. I mean, listen, the season's young. 8 games in.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to the Western Conference. Number 1 is the Oklahoma City Thunder. We saw that coming. We can move on. All right, number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers. A little LeBron James-less.
Yeah, no king in the house for the first 9.
Los Angeles Lakers, dude.
So who's running the show, Mr. Reeves?
Reeves? Huh? Dude, Reeves is killing it right now. He's not their leading scorer, but he would be the leading scorer on any other team if he was on there.
Yeah, he plays hard, that kid, man.
Because they have the Don, Luka Doncic.
Donkey Kong.
Dude, he's playing like Donkey Kong. He's playing like what's his name? Wilt Chamberlain right now. Like
he's averaging 30 a game minimum.
No, he's averaging like 37. Like it's insane what he's doing right now.
What? Yeah.
He almost had 2 back-to-back 50-point games.
Do me a favor. Michael Jordan's career points per game.
30.1.
Okay. Very good. Love it. Loving it. Hey, listen, very big disappointment again in the LA Clippers. They got smoked by the Suns tonight by 15. They're just like a bunch of slow motion. I don't want to play basketball team when they dribble the ball up the court with Harden.
Well, they got a bunch of perennial all-stars that are 15 years out of their prime. Like,
Yeah, and they made a bad move in the offseason by getting rid of Norman Powell because that dude is killing it
in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what, if you guys are in the sports betting, anytime that you see Miami on the docket and they are in the plus territory, take Miami in the points. They have covered every single spread that I've done this year. All Miami. So I remember they had Miami against Denver plus like 11.5, and I was like, taken.
Yeah.
Because they play everybody hard.
Those picks that you've been throwing out, they're good picks, man. I mean, hey, they're such good picks that you really need to put these bets in, bro. Like, you're missing out, like, for real. What's up with Jaylen Brown, his spray paint head?
I don't know.
He got another victim last night. There was black spray paint all over the guy's jersey. They're like, what's going on out here?
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, and there was only one game. Yeah, you're right. The Suns beat the Clippers 115-102. So, yeah, like, I'm going to start getting in some basketball picks. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a segment on Rumble, and it's going to be if you are subscribed to my channel, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a 30-minute segment every night on NBA.
Interesting.
And do some picks and stuff,
right.
and get people interested in teaching them the ways on how to bet in my own personal ways that I do, especially with basketball, because in basketball there's multiple ways that you can do your sports betting, right? And the ways that I do it are, it's almost guaranteed. I would say guaranteed because you can't predict sports betting, but so far this season, I'm up probably 5 to 6, somewhere between 500% and 600% on NBA.
Fantastic.
So,
NBA really quickly. What was I going to say? I just drew a blank.
Today though was horrible because there was only one game and the NFL, and I didn't get shit.
Yeah. So for example, you're talking about betting on the NBA. You'll do a 30-minute segment, talk about what to look for, little things, little advocates here and there to make your betting percentage higher of a win than just throwing your money away. So, perfect example, last night, Brooklyn Nets got their first win. They were only a 6-point dog at Indiana. You'd think the Pacers would slap them up, right? 2 reasons why. One, the Pacers are shorthanded. You could look at their whole roster. They got no point guards. Nembhard's out. This one's out. That one's out. Toppin was out. I could name them all right? And 2, Michael Porter Jr. was back for Brooklyn. So that adds another 20 points to the starting lineup.
And that was a bad matchup.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr.
What
was
happened?
a bad matchup for Indiana.
You don't need the 6 points. Brooklyn won the game outright. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy. All right. And then let's go ahead and move on to our last story. If I can find out where it's at.
Yeah. Unfortunate event.
Yeah, it is. It is. And why is it not here? What the hell? I told you my computer has just been.
That's okay. I could talk about it a little bit if you want.
Oh, here we go. All right. Franchise file. All right, so this is from the Dallas Morning News. Those who knew Cowboys Marshawn Nealon remembered hard worker and an infectious smile. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he young football player. I think he came out of Western Michigan, fourth round pick or something like that. He came up with a big fumble last week. He had a pretty good game. You don't know what kind of problems people have mentally or what's going on in their lives. Unfortunately, this kid had a future. It's a sin to lose anyone at that age, especially, an up and coming rising star or whatnot. Yeah, he was out of Western Michigan. Praises to the family, sorry I had to go down like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of information coming out on this.
Yeah, you might hear a bullshit story here or there. What led up to it or what did not, what was going on. No one knows. No one will know because no one was probably there except one or two people. So,
exactly.
We have breaking news right now. Texas officials say they're investigating the death of Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland as a suicide. Kneeland was a second-round draft pick and just scored a touchdown off a blocked punt on Monday night. Now troopers say Kneeland shot himself after refusing to stop for a traffic violation. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more on that story for us. Andrew, what are they saying happened here?
Well, the details here are heartbreaking. Frisco Police Department telling ABC News that around 10:30 p.m. last night, they attempted to pull over a vehicle for what they describe as a traffic violation. They say the driver refused to stop, so a police pursuit ensued. They then lost the vehicle, so they gave up the chase and later located the vehicle involved in a crash. They searched the area of the crash, and that's where they found Marshawn Kneeland dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to investigators. And to make this all the more anguishing, you mentioned it right there, just 4 days ago on Monday Night Football, Kneeland was living out his dream. He even scored a touchdown as a defensive end. Now his life tragically cut short at the age of 24.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot there. That's all the information that they have on this.
He should have joined NASCAR. I mean, he got away from the cops. My man knows how to drive.
Jeez, I mean, these guys.
NASCAR was founded by moonshiners trying to outrun the cops.
I mean, sometimes people think they're in the Grand Theft Auto, bro, like the game. It's just crazy, bro.
No, it is.
Well,
listen, I had a great time, bro. I don't know about you guys.
I did. So I got to get my my bets for football. Now I'm going to give you guys a freebie here because when I start this new segment, 30-minute segment where I start my bets for the week, that's going to be, you have to be subscribed to ROMA Nation, right? But every time we come on to this show, I will always give you one. All right, so let's go to the NFL this weekend and let me see what they've got. Of course, my phone, my internet. My internet has sabotaged me today.
Yeah, it's not. You're not the only one, dude. Like seriously, it's 3i Atlas controls the world. What are we gonna do?
Exactly. All right, so we've got Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. Buffalo Bills minus 9.5. I'm gonna bring that down. I'm gonna buy some points here. I'm going to go Buffalo Bills minus 6.5. All right. Minus 6.5 gets you at minus 172.
Oh, that's not bad. It's on the 2-1.
Yep. Then I'm going.
You just showed bad points.
I'm steering clear away from the game that's going to be on Hollywood, which is the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets.
No, thank you. I don't know what's
I'm staying clear away from that game. All right. We've got the Jaguars going against the Houston Texans, and they got the Jaguars -1. I'm actually taking the Houston Texans at home.
Who's quarterback?
No. You keep General Mills far away from your betting line.
Are you sure? Wait, is he not playing? Is he still in concussion protocol?
No,
Probably.
he is playing. Stroud is out.
No, that's what I said. It's Stroud. Stroud is still in concussion protocol?
Yes, he is already ruled out this week.
Okay, I got you. We got Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints. I'm going to take Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints. I'm going to do the Panthers here at home, minus 2.5.
What's the spread?
It's minus 5.5.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the Carolina
is it
Panthers.
minus 5.5?
Original line, yeah.
Minus 2.5 at minus 255.
Nice. My pick, if anybody does care, is the over in the Giants-Bears, 51.5.
Oh, right. We've got the Detroit Lions at the Washington Commanders, -8. I'm taking that -8 all day. But
All day.
to be safe, if you want to be safe,
Why don't you pump up the volume and make it minus like 12?
I'm thinking about it.
Get some plus money.
I'm thinking about. I might go -9.5. That should do it. All right, so let's go in. We're going to do Detroit Lions -9.5, and that puts it at +104, which brings our total to +365 on those 3 bets.
And you're betting that on Bet 365.
On Bet 365.
Come get some. Come
All
get
right.
some at ROMA
Should I do
Sports.
one more game? No, I'm just going to keep it with those 3. All right. So I've got the Buffalo Bills -6.5, Carolina Panthers -2.5, and then I went up on the Detroit Lions -9.5.
Welcome.
Total. I'm going to put this. Let's see. I'll put $25 on this. And that gives me a return of 112.
Nice. That's about $80 in change profit, which is fantastic. I mean, that's almost a day's pay for nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, hey, great picks. I like them. I really do. Don't forget, guys, we got a 9:30 game on Sunday in Berlin between the Atlanta Falcons and your beloved Indianapolis Colts. What you got, boss?
In the next NFL CBA, I'm willing to wager 6 teams get added. Change the divisions into in 4 years. I know, but I'm willing to wager that London, Rota, Spain, Berlin, and maybe Munich.
I was gonna say Germany, but they're doing Dublin.
Maybe Dublin. But like I said, man, NFL's gonna get wacky, even more wackier.
Yeah,
But-
we're approaching that midpoint now. Holidays are coming. Good football's upon us.
How's
They're gonna
UCF
set-
doing?
Oh, then
Why does Jacksonville State always play on a Thursday night, a Wednesday night? What is that?
It is Conference USA's attempt to try to isolate action for their college football games, to try to isolate viewers. Because Tuesday Maction used to be a thing. I don't know if it still is. But the MAC, Mid-Atlantic Conference, that's where you had Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Northern Illinois, etc. Trying to isolate Tuesday games, which is hell on Steam.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
So, like I said, it's one of those things where it just doesn't work any other way. So, but Jacksonville State, they're not a bad team. I think they still have Rich Rodriguez. But as far as college football goes, Group of 5 pick for me. I'm going Navy.
Yeah, baby.
Go Navy. Need Notre Dame.
Oh, it's Navy. Listen, guys, I had a great
Anchors
time, bro.
away, my boys. Anchors away.
Hey, AK, why don't you close us off?
let's do it. All right. Well, make sure you go to riseofmiddleamerica.com. I'm sitting there thinking we're already off the air.
No, we're on, bro. Your head's buried in your lap looking to make money.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting there making all. Look at it. I'm already all my bets.
Crazy. He's crazy, people.
Yes, sir. All right. Go
You
to
want to talk about making money?
riseofmiddleamerica.com. Check out the lineup of podcasts, history, news, pop culture, sports. We cover it all. Top of the page are our socials. Bottom is the link to all of our merch. Please go ahead and support us. You can go to the Real Roma _AK. Hit that subscribe button. Go to our Discord. Sign up for all of our memberships. All right. So, guys, we had a fun time tonight. We will see you next week. I will let you guys know this weekend when I'm going to start my sports betting setup. So, without further ado, that's Gargi, that's Nabasa. I'm AK signing out. See you guys next week.